Welcome to Oregon Cash Flow Pro. My name is James Barber. I'm here to help you maximize your cash flow. At least that's what I'm normally here to do. In today's video, though, we're going to discuss Tesla a bit and the excitement around that, what's going to happen on Monday with the stock split in effect. I had some shares on Friday, and I noticed in my Robinhood app, they've now split. So I went from 18 and change to 90. I now have 90 shares, just over 90 shares. And we're going to talk just a little bit about what's going to happen or what could potentially happen on Monday, because of course, we don't know what's going to happen, but part of the fun is waiting to find out. So I am going to be doing a live stream on Monday morning, starting a half an hour before the market opens. We're going to go through the pre-market trading and see if any shares are able to move. According to what I've heard, there shouldn't be any, but there was some movement at the end of the day on Friday that I wasn't expecting to happen. It might have just been some options being closed out, catching up on trades from earlier in the day, but maybe there was some after-hours trading going on. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the pre-market Monday morning. We're going to be going live stream from this channel. So if you want to join us for that and you want to be notified, be sure to hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon, and you'll get notified when I start that live stream. And you can join me. We're going to ride this thing for as long as there's interest in the stream, but I'm interested to see what's going to happen on Monday. We've got a lot of possibilities. I'm pretty bullish on Tesla stock in general. That's why I bought some of the stock, and it's been an exciting run. And my guess is on Monday, we're going to see a spike, at least when the market opens. I think it's going to shoot up. I think it's going to go up for the early part of the day as all of the people who could not participate in the market are now suddenly able to participate in the market. The share prices were too high before. People that would maybe be buying options couldn't buy options because they didn't want to put themselves at risk of having to buy 100 shares in the event that the option doesn't perform. The reality is a stock price at the 440 range is a lot more affordable than a stock at 2,200 range. So I do expect a lot more people to be getting into or to be considering purchasing Tesla stock now that the stock price has dropped. I also expect that there will be more talk about the S&P 500 inclusion. The S&P 500, in my opinion, was likely waiting for this split to happen. So they weren't going to be adding a stock that would have put it right at the top price of all of the stocks on the S&P 500. And it's not just because of that price, but realistically, and I went over this in our video yesterday, Tesla was not a part of the S&P 400. So when Tesla gets added to the S&P 500, all of these indexes are going to now have to buy stock that they didn't hold before. That's going to be a lot of shares that have to trade hands. When is that going to happen? We don't know. Not likely to happen on Monday. Monday, I expect we'll see a spike just from renewed interest in people that knew that they couldn't be buying stock at $2,000 a share. Day traders who maybe didn't have enough in their account to be buying and selling throughout the day stock that's at $2,000 a share. Options traders who couldn't afford it. People who are just bullish on Tesla in general. That could be maybe somebody owns a Tesla. They really like the product. They love what the company has in the future, and they just want to own a piece of it. There's a lot of people out there in that situation, and maybe they're waiting to jump in now. It's not just going to be the speculators, but there's definitely going to be some movement in that arena as well. We saw a big drop off on Friday, and that was people getting their gains, getting out of it, taking advantage of the pre-split hype, and then pulling out right before it's going to split. The advantage for those folks is these are folks that are going to get back into it on Monday. They just want to see what's going to happen. They're not going to be in it for that big movement. They made a ton of money over the last couple of weeks, and they're going to reset give Tesla a chance to calm down. So they may not participate on Monday, but they might. We'll see how it goes. So I think definitely the first 15 minutes of trading is going to be pretty exciting to see which direction it moves. And I think as we get an hour or two into it, I don't know if we'll still be live streaming at that point, but if there's interest, we will. And a couple of hours into it, we're going to start to see it calm down maybe a bit. The exciting thing for me is any movement that happens on Monday is going to be multiplied fivefold from what happened on Friday, because now I've got 5 times as many shares. So whereas if it would have went up $1 on Friday, now it's going to go up the equivalent of $5. And for a stock that's in the 440 range, you would think that it can go up pretty substantially. I mean, it can go up $20, and that was the equivalent of a $100 move last week. And we had a few $100 moves last week. So I'm excited about this. I hope you'll join me on Monday morning for that live stream. We're going to have, there'll be a live chat here where I'll be answering questions. I'm really interested to hear from you guys. What's your experience with this stock, with Tesla in general? What do you see happening in the long term? We're obviously monitoring the short-term daily gains, but long-term, I think there's a lot of positive things to look forward to with Tesla. Yesterday, Elon Musk came out with his Neuralink. He did a Neuralink presentation. That's not Tesla, but you can't help but think that all the things that Elon Musk is investing in, the other companies that he owns, and the technology that they're developing, those are things that are going to be shared with Tesla and with the other companies. Just look at SpaceX and how they're developing different metals for their rockets, and they're utilizing that for coming up with what metal they're going to use for the Cybertruck when that comes out next year. This is pretty neat stuff. It's definitely things to get people excited, and we know that excitement breeds interest in the stock, and we expect the stock market to grow as a reflection of that. So join me on Monday morning. We're going to keep on this roller coaster ride while there's some excitement around it and people are interested in seeing it. And the response from my other videos, it looks like you guys are interested in it. So I look forward to seeing you then. We've got 90 shares sitting in here now. Ignore that poll. Ignore this portfolio diversity. I'm almost 100% in Tesla right now. I sold all my other stocks so that I could get more into Tesla for this split. I definitely got caught up in the hype, but it doesn't hurt that I'm bullish on Tesla in the long run anyways. Now, I've talked about some of the good possibilities of what could happen, but what's the downside? What's the other thing that can happen? The other thing that can happen is, look at this. Over the last 5 years, Tesla hasn't moved hardly at all. Stock market hasn't grown hardly at all up until this year. You can see right here, basically right at the end of 2019. Up until then, that stock didn't move much. Meanwhile, while this stock didn't move much, Tesla's income skyrocketed. They started bringing in a ton of revenue over this time. Why didn't the stock price reflect that? It was already built into the price. There was a lot of speculation that happened earlier. The price reflected that. And so we didn't see any movement until we got a lot of new information. And that new information that was coming out was a lot of new vehicles coming out, factories being successfully built, cars being sold, cars being delivered, quarterly revenue that led to profitability. And then we also started thinking, could it possibly be that they're going to hit 4 quarters of profitability and get into the S&P 500? A lot of the growth that we've seen was because of the potential inclusion in the S&P 500. So when they actually get added to the S&P 500, maybe it's already built into it and maybe it's not going to move much. So these are things that we've got to consider when we think about what is going to happen coming up? Are we going to see, is it possible that we've hit the peak and we're going to see 5 years of basically no growth? It's a possibility. Now, I'm not here to tell you whether to buy stock or not. I'm not licensed in securities. This is just musings of a Tesla stock owner. It's not about me and my opinion on this stuff because I'm not an expert. This is about us and kind of enjoying this ride together and interacting, and you sharing your experiences with me and my audience. And we're just going to see how this thing plays out. Be sure to join me on Monday morning and let's see what happens with the first few minutes of the stock split. I'm excited. And if you're excited, join me on Monday morning and let's ride this roller coaster together live stream. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you then. Now go maximize your cash flow.